Hey guys, and welcome to another video. In this video, I wanted to bring you a Scabarites video because they did update the drop table recently, and with the updated drop table, you can get about 1.3 to 1.8 mil GP per hour, which is pretty decent. One thing that I did forget to do is wear a ring of wealth. For those of you that don't know, they updated the ring of wealth to gather coin drops for you automatically, and because Scarabites drop 2 to 3k gold drops very frequently, it's extremely worth it because you're already clicking enough as it is while doing Scarabites. If you guys look on the screen now, you'll see how to get there, and then after that, I'm going to give you guys just a few tips for when you're actually killing Scarabites. Alright, so there are a few things you should probably know while you're killing Scarabites. The reason I used Carols for the magic defense and then prayed range was because there's only two mages in the area, and if you use Bandos and pray mage, you're mostly going to be taking damage from range because there's a lot of the mounted Scarabites. So definitely use magic defense and then pray range when you're doing Scarabites. Other than that, if you position your cannon correctly, only one of the mages will get hit by it. So that basically when they de-aggro off of you, only one of the mages is going to get hit by the cannon, meaning you're only going to have to focus on one of the mages. While you are killing Scarabites, you are going to have to focus on the mages because again, pretty much all of your damage is going to come from the mages. So you need to focus on killing the mages first, and then there's also the mounted melee Scarabites. I think they're the darker color green. They're more of like a brown. You're gonna want to focus on those as well because obviously you're praying range again. So just try to focus on those if you need to. The melee ones really aren't too much to worry about, but the magic ones will hit you fairly hard. So yeah, you will have to prioritize what you actually attack. Other than that, there are plenty of food drops that you will get. I would recommend probably dying in the area with a full inventory of sharks or whatever food you can afford, um, because basically what you can do is when you come the second time after you die with the full inventory of sharks, you can just fill up your inventory with prayer pots and it makes you last a little bit longer. And obviously, you're going to be using a Ring of Wealth to pick up the coin drops. And other than that, there are plenty of noted drops. I would also recommend bringing Alks. There are plenty of rune drops that you're going to want to Alk if you're not banking frequently. That way, you can get the most out of the trip. So, other than that, that's really pretty much it. Let's go ahead and get into the price check. Alright, so I did a 30-minute trip, and what actually happened on my trip was I died with the inventory that you saw at the beginning of the video. I died with that, and then when I went back, I just brought 10 sharks because I wasn't thinking, I should probably bring more stuff. I didn't really care too much. So I just brought 10 sharks, and I lasted 30 minutes. At the end of everything, after I sold it all, I came out with 1,045k, and then my supplies were about 350k. So GP per hour is probably about around 1.3 mil, which isn't too bad considering I didn't use a Ring of Wealth. I didn't think to bring one, and because of how many coin drops they bring, it's incredibly worth it. The guy that made 1.8 mil an hour on Reddit, he used the Ring of Wealth to collect the coin drops, and that probably boosted his GP per hour up to 1.8 mil. I absolutely believe it. The reason that I tested this was because I didn't believe that Scarabites were actually 1.8 mil per hour, but it seems that they are pretty good GP per hour. Would I recommend it? Probably not. There are better methods such as Zora, which aren't really as click intensive, I guess. This method is extremely click intensive because you have to constantly load the cannons, pick up all the drops, juggle food if you want, and then you also have to focus on the mages. And it's a pretty process money making method, but at the same time, it's easy. Zora might not be easy to people when they first start, so that's why it's kind of like a toss up. It's kind of just personal preference, but GP per hour wise, it's pretty freaking good. So hopefully, you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you shortly with another one.